Welcome back to the motorcycle fixture. This is the first video in our new series where we're gonna flip motorbikes. We're gonna fix them up and hopefully flip them for a profit. This is our first acquisition. It's a Keeway RKS125 that I bought off eBay. I'm just gonna go through the bike, find out what's wrong with it, if anything, and then hopefully we'll fix it up and sell it on. Hopefully it starts up nice enough. Everything, all the indicators, everything works. It starts on the button, so I believe there's only a few things that we need to do to it, and then we'll put an MOT on it because there's no MOT, and then we'll sell it. One of the issues is this foot peg is loose and or bent as well, so I think the aluminium is bent there, so I don't think we're going to be able to straighten that, so we might have to buy a new one. I'm not sure if that kickstart is correct for the bike, or if not, is not in the right position. I don't think it's the correct one for the bike. Looking at that, so I think that one, unless that's bent as well where it fell over. Other than that, I think the bike is pretty straight. There's only 7,300 miles on the clock, so hopefully we can make a bit of profit on this one. The advert on eBay stated that the speedo doesn't work, so we need to have a look, get that working, and then it's just this foot peg and the kickstart, although it starts off the button, so the kickstart is not really relevant, but it's marking the panel there where it's either not correct or bent. It may just be a case where it needs rebending. I don't know how well you can see it on here, but the bottom where the foot peg is bolted onto, the bottom of the frame is bent in, like it's had a whack on the end of the foot peg really. And then underneath there's kind of a bit of metal that's bent down, so I need to straighten up this bit of the frame and then weld it back underneath. So the first thing for us to do is to take off the exhaust, which is, it's only the two bolts where it's fixed onto the head, and then the bolts where it's fixed then onto the rear hanger in here. So we'll remove the exhaust and then we'll be able to take a better look at this part of the frame. Now I've removed the kickstart and I've removed the plate, the cover plate that goes here. The exhaust I've removed, so now I can see better where the frame is bent. It's not a very good design obviously, but it's like, if I can get the camera underneath and show you a bit better where it's bent. So you can see there where the end of it is bent in. I think this piece of this tab here, I think, is supposed to stop it from bending in. So what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to bend this part back out straight out here, and then we're gonna have to knock this piece of metal back up and then weld it in place to support it again, which is a bit of a nightmare really. I'm hoping to be able to bend it without having to take the engine out, to be honest, but if we have to take it out, then we have to take it out. So to get anything on this piece of the frame to bend it back, I'm going to have to remove this rear brake pedal. As you can see, the rear brake pedal on the end is bent as well, so I'll remove it, bend the end back into shape, and hopefully we'll be able to get some purchase on this end of the frame as well with something. To remove the rear brake pedal, we just need to remove this bolt here, and then the rear brake pedal should pull out. As you can see, I've marked a line on the rear brake pedal setup, just so that I know it'll all go back in the same place. So it'll save me a lot of adjustment later. And then once you've removed that bolt and the rear brake pedal just pulls out, then keep everything together as it come out. Put this washer on here to keep it safe. As always, just check nothing's loose that can fall off or fall out and lose. So there's nothing else there that's gonna drop out. So we should be good to go. So now I've got quite good access now to try and bend this bit of the frame back. You see this bit of the frame is bent down, and then you can see that this bit is pushed in. I'm just going to try and get something on there and try and bend it back. You can see now, if I look down the side of the bike, you can see that the foot peg is facing at a strange angle. And then if I look at the side arm of the bike, you can see it's facing forward and it's facing down. We need to see now if we can bend it back so that the footrest is back in its normal position, i.e. straight. Okay, I've made a decision now to take the engine out. There's no easy way to get at this piece of metal with this engine in the way. I can't get at the back of it because of the engine under here, so I think we're just going to drop the engine out. It'll be easier for us. I'm happy now with where that foot peg is sitting. That's fairly straight. Compared to what it would be, that's perfectly straight. So it's a matter now of putting the engine back in. Before I put the engine in though, I want to clean the carb, and I've ordered a new starter motor for it because the starter motor was ratchety. Now that we've got this part straight, and this pin in here is bent, so the foot peg can go down further than it should. So I'm going to remove the pin from in here. I doubt if I'll be able to straighten it, so I'll probably be making a new one to go through there. So I just need to straighten now this split pin at the back, just so that I can take the pin out that holds the foot peg on. So there's a split pin and a washer that holds the pin in, and then this pin should just push out, but as you can see it's bent, so it might take a bit of persuasion just to yes, it's definitely bent in there. Okay, I might just have to tap it out from, might have to just give it a nice tap from that side. Just gonna try and tap this pin out from underneath. It is pretty bent up. Hopefully once I get it through this one side, it might be a bit easier. Whew. That does not want to come out of there. But you can see how bent it actually was. Probably. Might try something different. we are. Maybe I could tap it through this way. And there we are. As you can see, it's pretty bent up. So I need to make a new one of those now, obviously. Be careful when you take the foot peg out. There is a little ball bearing in a detent on a little spring that sits in this little plate, so that when the ball bearing's in the down position, when the foot peg's in the down position, it sits in this hole, and when it's in the up position, it sits in that top hole, and it travels back and forth between the two, and that sits in there like that then. So I think we'll be okay with a new pin. So size wise, the hole in the peg seems to be okay, but it's just the pin has been destroyed. Obviously it's had a whack from something. So if I can just get the camera in here and show you this. So this is the left hand side of the bike, and as you can see, there's a wet piece of webbing welded in there to strengthen up this part, to stop this bottom from bending in. And if you have a look at this side, the one that was bent in, where's the piece of webbing? This, which way is it? This is the piece of webbing that was supposed to be welded in there, and as you can see, the welding wouldn't have been very strong on that, and that basically has been sort of in there like that, not held on by very much at all. Yeah, we'll clean the back of this up here, and we'll clean this part up. We'll clean this webbing part up, and then we'll weld that back in properly into there, and hopefully stop that from bending in the future. So that's our fix on there. While the engine is out and the carburetor is just hanging here, I'm going to take the bowl off, make sure that's all clean, clean any of the old petrol out and anything else in there. The bike was running fine, so I know there's not going to be much wrong with it, so but while it's off, it makes sense just to clean the bowl out, make sure there's no lumps or dirt or water or anything inside there. So next I'm going to take that off and just make sure that bowl is clean. So to take the carburetor off, it's just one screw there, there's another screw there, then just two screws. Take the carburetor, the bottom of the carburetor off, and you can see inside the carb is very clean, it's lovely. I will give that a spray with some brake cleaner just to make sure there's no bits, but as I said earlier, the bike itself was running fine, so we haven't got any issues with that. But this is the sediment in the bottom of the carburetor, and as you can see the bubble in the petrol, and that is water in the bottom of the carb and rust in it as well. So it doesn't hurt if you have access to the carburetor just to clean it out, as you can see. So just going to clean that out with some brake cleaner. Well, as you can see from that is perfectly clean now, and so I'm just going to put that back on, give the oops, try again, give the gasket face a wipe off, make sure there's nothing gonna find this way in, and then we can just line the holes up, put the bottom of the carburetor back on like this. That's another job done. I think everything else is okay on the bike, so we're just waiting for the starter motor now. Waiting to make a pin for this foot peg. I need to weld the web back on the foot peg holder, and I think we are more or less in a position to bolt the engine in and start it back up. Now we've got our new pin. This is our new pin. You see, that was the old one that we took out. This is a bit of a difference. Just made this out of a 6mm brake pin, a pad pin that holds the brake pads in normally, but we've turned it down and made a new pin out of that for it. So now we can get on with putting this foot peg back together. I'm going to put some grease now on these faces of the foot peg. Try and get some in the hole as well. Grease it up and just keep it a little bit waterproof, stop it from rusting too much. Go straight away anyway, it will wash out, but okay. Then we need to put our ball bearing back in that hole like that, and then our plate with the two holes in it that the ball bearing rides in between those two. So need to put the plate in the first position with the ball bearing in the hole. Get our pin, then we're going to grease our pin up, and we're going to put that in, make sure it lines up like so. We just need to make sure that the bottom lines up. There we are. Perfect. And then we put our washer on the pin, and then our split pin back through the hole on there, like that, like that. Spread the split pin now so that they can't fall out at any point, like that. And there we have it. That's another job on our bike ready. So in the next video I'm going to refit the engine, I'm going to fit the new starter motor, we're going to start the bike up, make sure everything's running okay, we're going to check everything on the bike, all the lights work, etc, and then it'll be ready for the MOT. So if you enjoyed that video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up button down below to say that you like the video. It really helps the channel out. The more people who like the video, YouTube shows it to more people, so it is important. If any of my videos have saved you money, then please consider hitting the thanks button underneath. If you click the thanks button, you'll see what I mean. And thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.